We cannot wait. And it's here. And it's now. And Michael Buffer is making the introductions. Enjoy.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes in bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Philippine national anthem.
Bayang magiliw, pelas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka lang magiting, sa manlulupig. Di ka pa sisiil sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy, sa langit mong bughaw. May tilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagninigning. Ang bituin at taraw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng luwag, di pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pagmarmang api ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Jessica Sanchez!
hand, right to the chest. Oh, and a right hand drops Mancini.
Combination again. And Pacquiao's in trouble. And Leonard flurry. Oh! He's got Gonzalez down, and he may not get up. There goes Leonard with a combination from her.
Came from nowhere. It's over. Ali is the knockout winner.
Why choose a puncher for your first fight?
I decided to
All right, let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Pacquiao 34, Rios a little bit younger. Rios has an advantage in height, slight advantage in weight, and a distinct advantage in reach. So the tail of the tape favors Brandon Rios. It'll be the 10-point must-scoring system, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown order. Fighter cannot be saved with the bell in any round, and only the referee can stop the fight. We get into any accidental fouls. Larry and I will explain that to you as it becomes pertinent. This is the weigh-in yesterday. Brandon Rios and, of course, Manny Pacquiao. And when they hit the scales, they're both in under the limit. And this, of course, weight thing Larry discussed. For Rios, this is his first time to come up to this weight where he didn't have a weight problem of losing weight.
And he's a naturally bigger man than Pacquiao, for whatever that means. Manny, having started as a teenage flyweight, he's coming up from the lightweight divisions, Rios. So he's a little bigger physically, but doesn't have the one-punch striking power that Manny Pacquiao has demonstrated when he was the Manny Pacquiao of story and song.
You say that as if you question, and we should question it. How much?
Of course, you know, history is not on Manny Pacquiao's side. When a veteran champion suffers the kind of knockout he suffered, it usually indicates that he is on the downward side of his career. Have to keep in mind, Manny Pacquiao hasn't had a knockout in 4 years, hasn't officially won a fight in 2 years, hasn't fought in nearly a year. This is time, you know, beating on the stone. And obviously they brought Rios in because they thought he was the perfect opponent for the comeback. The odds are highly in favor of Pacquiao of pulling it off. But from the point of view of Rios, if he's facing a shot fighter, he's got a shot.
That was Freddie's wanted the rematch next against Marquez, and that didn't happen. He wanted that right away. Automatically you want that redemption right away. Manny winning that fight up until the knockout, but I agree, that is the biggest question, Larry, coming into the fight, is how will Manny Pacquiao's chin hold up? I think once he takes a few punches and everyone sees he's fine, then that question will be answered.
It's not just his chin. I think what a lot of us, look, that was a historic one-punch knockout in a very exciting fight. What many of us forget is that there was an earlier knockdown by Marquez.
Right.
A big, long punch, the kind that Freddie Roach said a blind man should have seen coming. Well, what is that telling us? We don't know. We don't know if Rios has the stuff to capitalize on whatever decline there may be in Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is one of a kind. It doesn't mean that history necessarily refers to him in this particular fight and this matchup, but there has to be those questions asked, and hopefully we get some answers.
Well, Rios is getting ready to make his way out. And let's talk about him. This kid's a very tough kid, former world champion. He's totally ready. He's wanted this fight for a long time. He's trained harder than ever before. He's totally opposite from Manny, kind of a brash kid. Some foul language from time to time, but he's a likable rogue, a real likable rogue. He says, I'm a better fighter now than I've ever been. And all I have to do is go upstairs and downstairs in this guy. And if I have to, you remember, Larry, when he said, I'll go way downstairs, meaning that he might throw a low blow or two. Who knows? His strikes, he's super tough. He says his defense is improving all the time. He is a crowd-pleasing fighter, and he knows no other way to fight. He says he'll test the chin of Pacquiao early. Well, if he can execute that, maybe he's going to be a new champion. Who knows? You know, one thing I don't believe, the odds in Las Vegas are 6-1, and he's better than a 6-1. Because we know that Las Vegas sets the odds to get betting and encourage it. I don't think he's a 6-1 dog.
He's not a power puncher, but neither was Marquez.
He has knockout power, 22 in his 33 fights. But
by beating opponents down through attrition and toughness.
Absolutely, wearing them down.
He's promised to be smart aggressive in this fight. We'll see if he can be that.
And Manny Pacquiao now just appearing. The crowd hasn't seen him yet, but it's a predominantly Filipino crowd. You know, it's only a 2-hour flight from the Philippines to China. So there's a lot of people who made the trek over here. It's not real expensive to fly here.
Well, that was the whole idea of putting this fight here. That and not having to pay the 40% American taxes. My understanding is that Manny is guaranteed $18 million, which roughly would be the equivalent of about $30 million in the U.S. And it could go higher depending on various contracts and how pay-per-view does in the U.S.
Well, of course, the networks want to see Manny perform, and then the big story will be Pacquiao, of course, with Floyd Mayweather Jr. But he has to have a big night tonight for that to be considered still important.
Well, for his fans, it's not a comeback they're looking for. And not just a victory. They're looking for Manny to rise again. Is that possible? You know, everybody thinks of him in terms of that 1 year when he stopped De La Hoya, Patton, and Cotto and rose through the sky to become an international celebrity.
Well, and everybody thinks this is the perfect opponent for that to be able for him to be able to do so.
Sometimes it's be careful what you wish for.
Absolutely.
But if he wants to stay at this level of the game, if he wants to make this kind of money, he had to test himself against a reasonable opponent, and Rios certainly qualifies.
What a track record. WBC flyweight champ at 112. IBF super bantamweight champ at 122. Ring featherweight champion at 126. WBC super featherweight champ at 130. WBC lightweight champ at 135. IBO junior welterweight champ at 140. WBO welterweight champion at 147. WBC super welterweight champ at 154. That's the ticket to Canastota for Manny Pacquiao when he decides to hang him up. All that going for him.
Well, but and also as part of the record, because punches get punched, as we've pointed out before, he had that "honey, I forgot to duck" moment the last time we saw him in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cotai Arena here at the Venetian Macau. This is the main event Brought to you by Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated and MP Promotions. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO International Welterweight Championship. Sponsored by Tecate con Carácter. And the motion picture Grudge Match. Two legends, Stallone and De Niro, the ultimate rivalry. Grudge Match Day is coming from Warner Brothers Pictures, a new comedy. Grudge Match in theaters everywhere, Christmas Day. And Smart Communications, the Philippines' leading wireless provider. This bout sanctioned by the Chinese Professional Boxing Organization and the World Boxing Organization. WBO President Francisco Paco Barcarcel, supervisor for the WBO, Leon Panaccio. The three judges scoring the contest at ringside, Lisa Jampa, Manfred Kuchla, and Michael Pernick. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, World Championship veteran referee, Gennaro Gino Rodriguez. And now, the officials are ready. The fighters are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the hundreds of millions watching around the world from the Venetian, Macau, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the blue corner with head trainer, former world champion Robert Garcia. Wearing green with white and red. Official weight, 146 1/2 pounds. His professional record, outstanding at 31 victories, including 22 knockouts, only one defeat with one draw. From Oxnard, California, USA, the former lightweight champion of the world, Brandon Bam Bam Rios. And fighting out of the red corner with Hall of Fame trainer Freddie Roach, wearing royal blue and officially weighing 145 pounds. His professional record, Hall of Fame credentials, 54 victories, including 38 knockouts, 5 defeats with 2 even. From Sarangani Province, the fighting pride of the Philippines, 8-time world champion, Manny Pacman Pacquiao!
Well, the crowd's certainly into it. No signs of any nervous gestures by the challenger here in Bam Bam Rios.
Well, he says he wants to feel the power of Manny Pacquiao. That's the kind of fighter he is.
Okay, gentlemen.
I thought he wanted to test the power the other way by hitting him.
We'll see if he gets what he wishes for and how he handles it.
All right, 10-point must scoring system, no standing 8 count. No 3 knockdown rule. The fighter cannot be saved with the bell in any round. Third man in the ring, Gennaro Hernandez, a good one from Chicago. So we're just about ready to go. All the anticipation. Manny seems ready. He's trained hard. Is he focused? That's what it's all about. Big payday against Floyd Mayweather might be on the line here. We'll see.
Buckle your seatbelts.
Rios, of course, is the guy to the right of the screen. Back to you now. Manny Pacquiao decked out in the blue. Lest you didn't know. Manny reaches, nothing there. Rios with a couple of light left jabs. They haven't got into it yet. Manny goes. Whenever Manny does anything, this crowd will react because I would say 75% of the people in this building are from the Philippines. Deafening crowd when he was being introduced.
Rios being very patient for him to start out and try to gauge the quickness of Manny Pacquiao.
That's what Robert said they would do. Try to start off slow.
digs downstairs, light shots. That one wasn't light. Straight right hand taken on the gloves. And he caught him with the right hand across the whiskers, nothing big. Rios not totally backing off. He'll plant and go. The cheers goes up for Manny. A little slower, meaning, Larry, what you were talking about, that Rios is under control. Manny's scoring more punches in this first round.
Yeah, easily in favor of Manny early.
Gino right away. That's a slip.
I think what happened was that Manny may have stepped on his foot.
I think we're going to see that a lot tonight, actually.
Well, it happens with the southpaw and the right-handed fighter. But Rios has got to work to the outside of that outstretched front right foot of Manny Pacquiao, or he will be tripping. Problem is, if the fight is close, a trip to score a knockdown can be devastating. Brandon had the best of that inside.
Very good work inside for Rios.
Yeah, if he can just keep that foot on the outside, like you said.
Trouble is seeing it because your eyes are up. You can almost feel it. Pace is certainly picked up in the latter portions of this first round. Manny gets through. Rios smiles at him. Says no. I don't know. I got to give it a Pacquiao.
Good round for the ex-champ.
Well, they're both ex-champs, so I assume you're giving it to Pacquiao.
The most recent ex-champ.
So we all agree here at ringside that it's a 10-9 round in favor of Manny Pacquiao. Better ring generalship, landed more in general.
Was it a knockdown? Not officially. Watch they're both feet, right-hander and a left-hander. You can see how they could be near.
I don't know.
Hard to tell from that angle. It was a little.
Well, there was the right hands of Manny kind of pushing him, and Gino was right there in front of it. So I'm not taking sides against Gino Rodriguez.
Either way, it wasn't a punch that
affected.
That had any serious effect on Rios.
All right, here we go.
Manny was proved that the matchmaking was very good in that first round because he was just too quick for Rios.
Round number 2, scheduled for 12. The ramifications of this fight are huge. Pacquiao back upstairs showing some power right back in Brandon Rios. Rios is a guy that will never quit. He's a bigger man. Take those on the gloves. Slinging shots downstairs now.
I guess the plan is to go to the body because Rios has landed more punches to the body than to the head.
He's going to have to let his hands go a lot more than he did in that first round if he's going to try to outpoint Manny Pacquiao.
Well, I think in the back of his mind, or maybe in the front of his mind, is some way to get that right hand in and test Manny. He hasn't really thrown a right hand with mean intentions yet.
Nice movement by Manny. He's well conditioned for this fight. Back and forth, jabbing, jabbing, jabbing. Look at him set up the big left hand. Rios is working hard. Good work ethic here. Manny's eyes totally clear, totally in control in there. Brandon came in with his head down and just waltzed into the kill zone without throwing. Not a good idea. He's throwing now, but Manny's making a miss.
Good combinations by both fighters, Pacquiao especially.
Now it's beginning to pick up. Pacquiao's landed more here. He grabs Yam. Rios fights back valiantly.
Rios has said that boxing and banging are his orgasms, and he must be having a good one right here. Good body punch by Rios.
21 seconds to go, and this is the second round. Manny skips around to his right, trying to get in position to southpaw to land that straight left hand.
Definitely a better round for Rios, but has
he landed it.
Ooh.
Oh, look at this. Manny closing the show here at the end of the round. Better round for Rios, but it's Pacquiao's round.
Rios smiles as if to say, oh, that's what I came here for.
You know, the last fight, the Marquez fight, similar to this, Manny controlled the first 5 rounds of the fight. Now look at this at the end of the round when he really opens it up. Stiff, straight left hand.
Probably the best single shot, but he's landing multiple shots.
And don't forget, for the southpaw, that's his power hand. So we're getting ready to go to 3. Round 3, Colonel Bob Sheridan here, along with Larry Merchant, Christina Puncher, our principals, Manny Pacquiao in blue, multicolored trunks, Brandon Rios, both former world champions, fighting for the international title here, which will lead to a world title shot for both of them. Brandon trying to land more leather here in the early going of round 3. Pacquiao still has the quickness on his legs, still shows hand speed.
Well, you know, all those things are relative. And Rios is the slower fighter with his feet and his hands. He promised to test Manny's chin, but so far he really hasn't been able to.
He wanted to then, Larry, he must have heard you. 2 straight lefts and a right that missed. Manny just totally outscoring this kid. Feinting right and back to his left. Getting his left hand through. And he's getting a boxing lesson at this stage. Keeping him spinning, keeping him circling, which means he's off balance. It's all dictated by Manny Pacquiao. At some stage, this kid's going to get real frustrated if Manny continues to box like this. And that's when he'll throw his ears back and throw caution to the wind. And that's when you folks will absolutely love what's going to happen after that. Chang goes up for Manny.
There you go. He's caught him a couple times there. Manny not phased, obviously.
Imposing his will on this guy. Brandon comes in, but he kind of falls in. Remember yesterday, Larry, we were talking about this, saying that Manny falls into punches. Oh, he nailed him with a good left hand coming in. Look at the hand speed. Rios might shake his head no, but that always means, yeah, I'm getting hit.
Oh, he's trying to say no. It doesn't hurt me. It's going to take more than that. Well, Manny Pacquiao has more than that. You know, when an older fighter, you know, fights a guy with a good style for him, a guy that comes to him, a guy he doesn't have to look for, he can look 10 years younger.
He's looking 10 years younger right now.
There's Miguel Cotto.
Miguel been around the hotel signing autographs. It's amazing how many people are here just to see and be seen with these fighters.
Good job. Kasi siya, pag hinahawakan mo siya, pag humawak ka, siya sumusuntok, ha? O gano'n, ha? Huwag kumpiyansa masyado, Brad.
Look at Pacquiao pitching a shutout so far.
Stay in the middle, okay? Keep running out, okay? He's swinging wild, under easy, okay?
I'd like to see what the punch count is because I'm sure it's a lot too little at this point. Just so much more active is Manny Pacquiao than Brandon Rios. Brandon almost on the defensive, which is definitely not his style of fighting, not his preferred style.
Well, Christina, at some stage you got to start to explode.
Absolutely.
And I have a feeling it's going to be this round. We'll see.
Well, you know, he's younger. He's a little bigger. He may think that let's get to the second half of the fight against the older warrior.
That's a long way away right now.
Five unanswered punches. An answer finally from Pacquiao.
Blocked those pretty well.
He's about 10 punches down, Larry, and Rios hasn't landed on one. Manny just doing a great job outboxing the kid right now. Not much power there, but look at him make it miss. Slick move. It's like a master boxer against an amateur right now.
Well, he makes Rios look plodding.
I mean, going past him and constantly spinning him, having him off balance.
No, he's letting him go.
Well, he's beating him up. He had a free hand. The referee was absolutely right. Manny Pacquiao was looking at him to say, I want you to stop this. And with a free hand, the referee is not supposed to stop it. So Rios was banging him in the ribs. Too many referees stop this.
No, you're absolutely right, Larry. He did it exactly right. Get a free hand, let him go. Now, when they were both tied up, and he hit him in the back of the head, Gino says, no, that you can't do. The movement of Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao in blue, as you know.
Ducking and moving all over the place. Beautiful.
Manny looks terrific to me right now. Making him look like a schoolboy.
Stay strong, stay strong. Hands up high.
Spinning, and that's his fight plan, obviously. Just keeps going around and keep him spinning because that gets you off balance. You can't throw punches when you're circling back to your left.
Well, what made Manny Pacquiao against the bigger guys was that he could hit them and they couldn't hit him.
And that's what's happening here, too. It's exactly what's happening, Larry. It's all Pacquiao. .40-36 on my score sheet. And an easy 40-36.
Okay. Beautiful boxing. All right, I'm here now. It's easy for you. You're way too fast.
Freddie, beautiful boxing. Easy night for you so far. It's something along those lines in the corner.
Okay? Siga bien cerradito with that smart. Be smart. Keep going smart. Hands up high. Block. And go with the body. And then always start out with body shot. Always start out with body shot. Come on, okay?
Body.
All right, here we go. This is round number 5, scheduled for 12. So far, it's been all Manny Pacquiao. See if Rios can do anything different here in the 5th to keep it going. Once Manny decides to move, Larry, I mean, the thing changes immediately. Well, he sits and waits. Rios still wasn't able to land anything.
Pretty good fighter for a congressman.
A very good fighter for a congressman. I wish our own congressman would fight like that. Straight left hand. Catches him on the button. And it's gone here in the 5th. Thai Arena, Venetian, Macau, China.
If Manny Pacquiao shows signs of age and vulnerability, Rios has been unable to exploit it.
You know, I didn't see any signs of age and vulnerability against Juan Manuel, except for he got hit by a shot.
Well, he got knocked down twice. Not what we normally saw.
No.
In Manny Pacquiao.
Well, this is appearing to be the perfect opponent for him. Rios just hasn't been able to open up at all.
Yeah, you know, this is box him. If a knockout comes, get it.
I mean, I'm really shocked at this. I thought Rios would give him a fight. So far, he's done nothing. And he can't. Manny's got every phase of his fight shut down. Including the inside-outside game. He's spinning him, he's turning him. His hands are faster. How frustrating is this for the tough-hearted street kid from Oxnard?
Well, he's in a fight. He's going to make $4 million. That's what you fight for. You also fight to win. That part of it isn't happening.
Oh, look at high speed again of Manny. At some stage, I just thought that Brandon Rios would explode. Would, you know, he's been capitalized totally throughout this fight.
But for the most part, he's been what I call an attrition fighter, beating down opponents through sheer energy and will. But Manny Pacquiao isn't there for him to impose that kind of a fight on him.
Well, I got a perfect fight so far for Manny Pacquiao. 50-45, giving Pacquiao every single round. A lot of celebrities in attendance.
The last guy that Manny Pacquiao stopped, Miguel Cotto, 4 years ago.
Ruslan Pobednikov
was on
saw him a couple of weeks ago.
And he's on the potential short list to fight Manny Pacquiao, former sparring partner.
Paris Hilton seems like her boxing. David Beckham.
Seems to have never ever lost his luster as a great star.
I understand he signed a huge contract to be part of the whole promotional aspect of this casino. They're robbing stars from Las Vegas and bringing them to Macau. Here we go, round number 6. And so far, it's all Manny Pacquiao. More energy, more movement, more speed, landing more shots, heavier shots. Fighting the perfect fight plan. This is a straight shot down the middle. I've been waiting in anticipation for Rios to open up and attack. When he tries, he can't. Then he gets accused of a low blow, which isn't beyond the realm of possibility that he would throw on purpose.
I think he was kidding when he said it in the fighter. I mean, he kind of said it jokingly.
Oh, no, I assure you he wasn't kidding. Yeah, he made it sound like he was kidding, but he'll do anything he has to. Street fighters fight.
I get what you're saying.
They'll fight. He might have been joking in a joking way, and I think you're right there. But I assure you, he'll resort to anything he has to.
In terms of pulling out all the stops.
That's it. Well, where are the stops right now? Slow hands, setting up right in front of him. No head.
Mostly what this shows so far is that Manny Pacquiao wants to be Manny Pacquiao again.
So light on his feet, jumping around.
That he still has a desire to do this despite having a full-time job as a politician. I don't know many elite fighters who've had a second job.
Well, there haven't been any. But the one thing about being a politician, you can do anything you want.
Well, he gets leave of absence when he trains.
I know that. Well, it's certainly paid. This leave is paid off. Besides that, he gives more than half his money back to the public anyway, so they got to get him refueled so he can give more away.
Yeah, well, they say he's a one-man welfare system to his constituents.
What is he?
Brandon finally landed a light right hand, but doesn't take any effect on Manny. I'm just surprised. Is it a little cut for the left eye now of Brandon Rios? Is it just from taking so many shots? The hand speed of Manny Pacquiao. Now you see there, Christina, he wanted in the worst way to hit it from behind. Caught himself.
Yeah, he was jarred by a couple of those punches from Pacquiao and just said, okay, now I got to start again. He just keeps coming. Coming for a bad beating, it looks like, if this goes on another 6 rounds.
There is a cut there by the left eye. And watch Pacquiao go to work on that. There's the trying to get on it. That ends round number 6. It's all Manny Pacquiao.
That cut could cause the end of this fight after a while.
60-54 with a cut. Manny looks like he's at a school function.
He's smiling over there in the corner. He's loving this.
Everything going his way. It might be when he got the cut right there in that series. Super job by guys working in slow-mo.
This is where he's got his space. Don't give him that space. Okay, my Brendan?
Especially my man Charles.
You can't throw from far. You got to work your way in. Hands up high, and then you go in, all right?
Most of you out there have seen pictures of and know about the enmity between the corners in this fight, and a little bad blood and testosterone blew up earlier this week in the gym. And right now it's Freddie Roach and friends who are having the best of it, along with their man Manny Pacquiao.
I like Pacquiao's style. He'll run at him, he'll go past him. Now he lands 3 punches in a row. He gets inside like this, comes with the uppercut. Missed with the left hand. Still a smirk on the face of Brandon Rios, but that smirk is going to go away in a hurry because Manny's pounding him a lot. He says no, which means yes. This is some fine boxing by Manny. Let me ask you this, Larry, at this stage, barring some sudden bolt out of the blue, Manny's fighting very well. And again, you pointed out he's fighting a slower fighter, so is he as good as what we think he is right now?
Well, at the moment, he's plenty good.
Yeah.
We'll see against opponents who come with a different set of talents. And we can only judge him on the moment. And as I said earlier, what I think is truly important here is not just that he's too fast and too good, but that he still wants it. He's a 34-year-old guy who still wants it.
And that's what he was saying all week long to us both. That's what he wants to show people, is that I'm not done. And I think that knockout loss reinvigorated him, and he trained as such, as if he has to prove himself again. And when was the last time he thought he would have that on his mind, trying to prove himself?
Well, he's proven himself tonight, as far as I'm concerned. Well into the 7th round.
And you have to point out that Rios lost his last fight too, but they thought that he would be the better opponent for Manny than Alvarado, who beat him. And the guys who make these decisions have been proven right so far.
They have. 25 seconds to go in the 7th. And right now, the only way that Rios can win the fight is to knock out Pacquiao, and it ain't happening. And he used that bad word, ain't, purposely. I thought it had more style to it.
Well, you know, this is a street sport, and in the street you can say ain't.
I'm a college graduate, and I don't use the word very often. But that one I'll put in the books for Manny Pacquiao again.
Yung sugat niya nasa kanan yung sugat niya.
Wow.
You know, the shot heard around the world, delivered by Marquez almost a year ago, has not resulted in a shot fighter.
Well, one punch is one thing. To me, the way Rios is getting banged around here, much more severe to take this many head blows in one fight than what happened. And there's the cut to the left side. They've done a nice job there, by the way. Alex Riser. Manny Pacquiao's mom. All right, here we go. This is round 7. The Colonel, Bob Sheridan, Larry Merchant, Christina Poncher, Cotai Arena, Macau, China. Beautiful, beautiful venue. Jam-packed to see Manny Pacquiao. Working well for the people that flew here from the Philippines so far. Round 8, scheduled for 12. WBO International Welterweight title. What does that mean? Well, it's some sort of belt, but more important than that, it means he's in line, if they can put it together, to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Manny Pacquiao doesn't need titles of any kind to get any fight he wants. It's just a gaudy little trinket, and he's got a lot of them.
Certainly has, my God. We have about 8 or 9 of them, of those gaudy little trinkets. However, Larry, there are a lot of guys out there that like to have just one gaudy little
There's no doubt about it, but he's in the position where belts don't matter. He's bigger than any belt.
Yeah, he's beyond that. And there's a few guys that are.
And he's delivering a lot of belts tonight. That's the most important thing.
Now, by choice, he elected to latch on to him, let the Rios bang away at him. But Rios never caught him good on the inside with the one hand free.
It was almost as if Manny said, okay, go ahead, use some of your energy right here because it's not affecting me as I hold your arm.
Manny, of course, has great legs and big thighs and huge calves. And that adds to the strength of his power. Those legs are tremendous legs. He's in great shape for this fight, and he's showing it.
And, you know, the question was if Manny's chin was going to be able to hold up, but he's got to get hit there to be able to test it.
Exactly. If he's vulnerable, does the other guy have the stuff to expose it, to take advantage of it?
I don't even think it's been tested up to this point in round 8.
He hasn't hit him with one flush shot.
Exactly.
Caught him with some glancing blows. He's caught him with a couple of decent shots, and nothing big. Because Manny's there, not there when you throw. Like Angelo Dundee, hit and don't get hit. That's exactly what Manny's doing tonight. He comes in, will go right by him. It's a solid shot there.
But the operative part of that equation of hit and don't get hit as a professional fighter, hit comes first.
That's right.
And Manny Pacquiao hits. He's not out there just to not get hit. He's not trying to get hit. But he's trying to hit like this and then not get hit.
Well, Rios The crowd doesn't like that at the end of the round.
I thought it was a nice gesture, actually, that he was saying, you're a pretty good fighter, man.
But that isn't the way it translates 50 rows back.
That was a fighter-to-fighter gesture.
Little more activity, okay?
80-72 on my score sheet. One of the better punches of the evening landed by, but too few of them. And then right back comes Manny. You can't help being a street kid, can you? You just can't help it.
You got to dance with who brung you. You got to be who you are.
Well, he's that. But it's a bad dance for him. All right, we go to round 9. Colonel Bob Sheridan here. Larry Merchant, Christina. Principals, Manny Pacquiao in the blue with the red. Multicolored trunks, Brandon Rios, who hasn't won a round yet. And in the first 20 seconds of this round, he's behind again. His only hope now is to pull off a Marquez-type shot that could stop Manny. Otherwise, he has no shot.
Manny's not giving him the chance, and Rios doesn't have the kind of cunning that Marquez did. Marquez, having fought Manny 3 times, knew him pretty well. Whether it's the opponent or not, so far, Manny Pacquiao is pretty well put to rest any discussion or skepticism about how he would come back from the knockout. Whether he would still want to do this at the highest level, whether he still invest himself to be at his level.
Well, he certainly has, Larry. There's no question that he's totally dominant in this fight. And more important than his domination is that his desire, determination, the fact that he trained so hard. I mean, he's been on his toes throughout the course of this fight. Cruising a little bit right now for this portion of this round. And let's see if he stops and plants and decides, because he's certainly the ring general. Got a really good shot that time. Anytime he wants. Hot shot this kid now.
I don't know that any fighter for some time has taken as much as Rios and kept coming at Manny Pacquiao.
I don't think anyone's really questioned Brandon's chin coming into the fight.
Yeah, but he hadn't fought
anybody
like Manny Pacquiao.
Well, of course.
And the bell ends at the 9th round. 3 to go. It's all Pacquiao. That's Jinky Pacquiao. The wife, of course.
I think she's pregnant with their 5th child.
Yeah, she's 4 months pregnant.
I have a daughter 4 months pregnant.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Luckily, I don't have anyone that's close to me that's pregnant.
Go hands up high. Okay? Hands up high and hold you in. You block, and then come back. Block, and then come back. All right? Block, and then come back. Let's do it.
Well, that's what you'd expect to hear him say. A lot of guys come back, just come back. Well, let's see if he's got the intestinal fortitude the ability, the desire, and if he's trained hard enough to be able to come back. I believe he's trained hard enough, but I don't think he can do it. Not as long as you've been hitting like this. Taking too many head blows tonight. Manny has imposed his will throughout the course of this fight. And he continues to do it into the early going here in round 10. Talk about frustrating. Gino, he's telling Gino, let me fight, will you? Light tapping now by Manny, trying to line up something heavy with that left hand. I love his movement, Larry. He's sliding by all the time, turning this guy.
This is a reminder of how much Manny Pacquiao changed when he became king of the world from when he first came to these shores 12 years ago and was just a puncher.
Finally get a stick through there, but no damage. Manny might be slightly arm weary now because he's thrown just a ton of punches. Still playing these in there. 3 shots to the head, 1 to the body. No matter what Brandon does, Manny's got an answer for it.
You get into the mode where you have to defend yourself against it, and so you can't go on offense. Like that. He's got to defend himself. He's got to defend himself. When does he let go?
Closing seconds down the 10th round.
Manny Pacquiao making a lot of people in his country very happy at the moment.
Well, he's got 100 points now. 100-90 at the end of 10. Every single round. Total domination.
All the questions that emerged from his last fight with Marquez were very legitimate, and all the answers that he's been able to give against Rios have been just as legitimate.
All right, here we go. This is round number 11. Scheduled for 12. It's championship time. And there is a title on the line. It's the WBO International Welterweight title. I'd put you in line for the WBO World title. But like Larry, you said, the titles don't mean anything to Manny Pacquiao. He's one of the fighters that's beyond belts, beyond the associations. Although Paco Bacasel is going to be pretty happy that he's got a WBO title.
It's almost like Brandon's now just in the fight for a moral victory, if you will, to say, if you could go the distance, because Manny's just outclassing him round after round.
Well, sometimes tough guys do extraordinary things at the end of fights. We've seen it before. It certainly doesn't look like that could happen right now. But prize fighters sometimes surprise me in their grit. Determination.
It's the great thing about our sport. There's always a chance.
Yeah, you can hit a 12-run home run, as we say, Rios, but you don't see it very often.
And in all reality, the only hope now is for Rios to get really, really rough as the blood trickles from his left eye. And then there's the other question, how much does his corner won't let him get beat up anymore in this fight? He's taking a lot of punishment to the head now. I'd be inclined to stop this fight. Why?
He's blocking those, many of those punches. They're off his gloves. They're grazing and hurting him. They're not letting him put on any offense. He's trying something here. But
Larry, I don't like a guy getting this many shots in the head. Yeah,
none of us do, but that's what they sign on for.
Sneaky short right hand on the inside there as the camera switched.
They land a couple of left hands. Just to remind Manny that he's there.
Look at this stuff. Extraordinary. Crowd boos anything that Rios does.
And cheers everything that Manny does.
That's what it's like when you have a hometown crowd.
Yeah.
This might just as well be hometown. This is Asia, after all.
Had a lot more reasons to cheer tonight.
And it's a big deal for him to be fighting here in Macau. Hasn't been a major international fight since Tyson and Douglas. Before that, Ali and Frazier.
You got to give it all right here in this round, amigo.
Well, we're going to the 12th and final round. And it's scored on my sheet 110 to 99.
Okay, you got to be smart about it. Don't.
Notice, Larry, they're saying in the corner, now be smart about it. In other words, don't take too many chances. Unfortunately, that's not the nature of a prize fighter. This kid just getting beaten up.
Welterweight Championship. We now go to round 12, the final round.
Come on, let's go, brother, let's go.
All right, here we go. This is round number 12. We've seen it before when a guy wins every single round, and all of a sudden, he loses the fight. Ask Michael Moore. Not likely scenario. And Manny's totally dominated. Continues to stay up on his toes. Continues to hit this guy. He's not running away from him. He's just using really slick movement in there. When you get two guys that can show defense like this guy and Mayweather, you know, what kind of a fight you can have there? And can it be made, Larry?
I think it's a hard one to be made. A Filipino reporter who's covered Manny Pacquiao for many years told me that there are people in Manila who want to make some kind of offer to make the fight that's bigger than big and bigger than that. But Mayweather, having made upwards of $75 million in his last fight, isn't likely to want to go abroad where he's never fought.
Well, if he came abroad to this neck of the woods, he actually would have been able to keep $75 million.
No. If you're a U.S. citizen, you got to pay U.S. taxes.
All right.
Even if you make it here or Siberia.
That's true. Don't we know that? Don't we know that? I'm doing it around the world. Brandon was cut way back in the 6th round.
He is.
Quan has done a nice job preventing the cut from being a factor.
You know, he has surrendered. He has acknowledged that he's the second best man in the ring. And just wants to hang around for another minute.
Well, he's almost
he came,
shell-shocked.
he came, he saw, and he is being conquered.
Cut over the left eye, big swelling on the right eye. That's what it looks like to face Manny Pacquiao, huh?
A brilliant job by Manny Pacquiao. No question, he's dominated this fight from the get-go. Brilliant offense, brilliant defense. His ability to circle, his ability to stay on his toes for full 12 rounds. Rios really can't take much more except the last 25 seconds of the fight. Manny might throw caution in the wind and try and take him out here. Crowd certainly would love to see it. Now they're trying to mix it up a little bit. The crowd is in its frenzy. The crowd is on its feet.
This is the showman in Manny Pacquiao. He wants to close the show with the crowd on its feet. The crowd is on its feet.
It's all over. Brandon smiles at him. He can't believe what's just happened to him.
And Brandon winks
a perfect shutout.
Wow.
.120 to 108. Perfect shutout. I want to see any way that man got any round.
You are correct, sir.
Well, Larry's going to make his way up into the ring, and we're going to have an interview with the victor and maybe even the loser. We'll see what the producers say. So while we have a chance, we want to let you know that the Pat Putnam Sommelier of the Year award goes to Jeff Greer of McSorley's here at the Venetian Hotel. They've certainly looked after us and many of the boxing people throughout the course. So Jeff Greer, we thank you very, very much for being part of the entertainment here in Macau. Just by being a politician, Manny Pacquiao kept his promises.
How often do politicians do that, Colonel?
Never. Never.
And he did, huh?
Manny saluting his fans. Michael Buffer will have to make it official. The handsome one is standing by with all the official particulars. Again, unofficially 120-108. Here's Michael.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Venetian Macau, we go to the scorecards. Michael Pernick scores it 120 to 108. Lisa Jampa has it 119 to 109. And Manfred Kuchler scores it 118 to 110. All to the winner by unanimous decision. He's back. The fighting pride of the Philippines, Manny Pacman Pacquiao!
He's back, no doubt about it. Well, we know that Beckham gets a bigger cheer than Cotto. Mama Pacquiao gets a bigger cheer than Beckham. And Manny Pacquiao is back in business. Not quite sure about 1 and 2 rounds to Rios on a couple of those scorecards. That was a complete shutout, Steve.
Yeah. I don't know where you can score them. I think maybe just give him a token round to make it look good for him. But no, it was a one-horse race. You know, we said before he's tailor-made for him. We thought we might have seen a bit more from Rios because he was always in the pocket, but he just had that high guard up. Pacquiao just had too much speed for him, and he couldn't let the shots go. I mean, he straight left, and when he went to the body, he hurt him. You know, all credit to Rios for seeing it through to the final bell, to be in all honesty. But yeah, a great performance by Pacquiao, considering what he had in front of him. I'm sure tougher tests lay ahead next year.
Yeah, that's the question. That's what boxing fans and pundits will be asking now, Gary. Was Rios just the perfect foil, or was that vintage Manny?
I think it was a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think he was put there to make Manny look good, but I think, you know, he's super talented. His movement, and what I liked about him tonight, he just slowed himself down a little bit. He wasn't throwing so many shots as what he was doing against Marquez, and it seemed to make him that little bit better. He didn't look so wild. His defence was a lot better, and you notice whenever Rios attacked, he just had it covered. He was rolling out one way, rolling out the other, tight defence. I was really, really impressed with him tonight.
Yeah, that's right. It's a sort of controlled aggression. It's almost because those Marquez fights are so close, every punch counts, so they want to throw so many of them. Let me ask you about Rios. Was he not able to get any offence off because Pacquiao was so good tonight?
Yeah, you could think that. I mean, I thought he would have just thrown more and maybe thrown that bit of caution to the wind, but I dare say if he had, he could well have been knocked out cold. But no, look, he just couldn't get him off. You know, he was always in the pocket, but Manny was always in the spin. And Manny was always moving, wasn't he, to his right as well. And, you know, he just couldn't get him off at all. You know, there's still fights for Rios out there, but you know what? I thought Manny would win tonight, and I thought he'd win inside the distance, but maybe I did expect a bit more from Rios. But a lot of that is down to how Manny performed.
Yeah, dominant performance.
Very.
Hurt him a couple of times to the body, Gary. It looked as though that surprisingly might be the sort of knockout punch.
Yeah, I kept mentioning, I think he went straight through the middle to the solar plexus with the left a couple of times, and he's almost bent him in half. But I think he was having so much success leaning down the right and popping the left hand straight through, he couldn't miss him with it. So I think he kept with that punch. But the shots around the side, you could see the right hooks and the left hooks around the sides. He was throwing them as a decoy for the one up through the middle as well. I think that was sort of breaking Rios down and slowing the legs up through the rounds as well.
Steve, how do you think that performance, not the result that was expected, but the performance, how will that be perhaps received in the boxing world?
Yeah, I think that was a good performance. He didn't take a punch. He did everything he had to do. That was a fine performance, considering he'd come off one of the most that knockout last December was one of the most chilling knockouts you'll ever see. You know, it showed you know, there was no ill effects from it. He wasn't scared of letting his hands go. No, anyone who finds too much fault with that must be too much of a perfectionist. You know, he can go on now and he'll be back in marquee fights next year, be it in Macau where he seems to fight and can fight tax-free, or in maybe Las Vegas. I know this Miguel Cotto was there tonight. Whether he was there with view to a rematch against Manny, time will tell. It's interesting he was there tonight. There's plenty out there for him. You know, the Marquez fight for the 5th time is what Freddie Roach was talking about. And what about Tim Bradley too? And of course, the big one that Bob Arum's spoken about is Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, not quite the fight it was 4 years ago, but you still watch it.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's the biggest. That would be the biggest grossing pay-per-view fight that's available out there for Mayweather. I mean, look at how much he earned for the last fight. Would it beat that? Possibly. I don't know. Probably, because I mean, look at the performance from Pacquiao there tonight. He showed that he's still right at the top of his game. He was as good as ever tonight. So all those out there saying, you know, what's he got left? Shame on you. He was as good as ever.
The Mayweather fight, it's down to the fighters now to say, we want, you know, let's come on. The pair of them should just say, we'll get together, we'll get this on, we'll get Top Rank and Golden Boy together. You know, that's how Mayweather has got his own promotional company. He works with Golden Boy to organise everything for him. Just get it on and get the money next year. As I say, Khan's got the job first, it seems, and hey, the big pay-per-view fight for next November, why not them two?
And a smile is not often far from Manny's face at the best of times, but it looked very early on, Gary, as though he was enjoying himself.
Yes, it's something that's quite surreal to see, really. You know, a boxer chuckling and laughing, sat down in the corner, and everybody's so happy and jovial. This is supposed to be the Hurt game. What are they doing, laughing and chuckling in the corner? It's surreal to see, but I really enjoy watching him as well because of his whole attitude and his, you know, his personality. He's fantastic. Must be a fantastic bloke to know.
And actually, although he was sort of getting beat up to an extent, he wasn't actually getting hammered, Rios. So it wasn't maybe as hard as a fight as the Alvarado two, you could argue.
No, I mean, that was 19 rounds of, those two fights were 19 rounds of really, real brutal. You know, he looked bashed up at the end, But, you know, a couple of times, you know, he winced a little bit and maybe nearly went over a couple of times. You thought he was going to go, but he didn't take, you know, the lads doing the commentary was saying, mate, how much punishment did it take? He's taken a lot of headshots. I think he was okay to get through the fight. Well, I've seen a lot worse of fighters go through 12 rounds and not get pulled out.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of questions to finish off. Gary, you've said you're going to get Steve down to light middle, I think, with a special trip.
I don't know about that.
You're the master trainer down in Southwest.
Then again, Steve, you know, the fighting talk just now, he's just rubbished. You know, how many punches did Rios get hit with? Then 1,000 punches. He just made out like it was nothing. So, you know, he's obviously got a lot of fight left in him.
And what about
a bit.
What about you? What about you and your gym, your fighters? What's coming up?
Yeah, December the 7th, I've got Liam Williams in a light middleweight 8-rounder. He's a good kid, Liam. Enzo's defending his Commonwealth title against...
That's up in Liverpool on Box Nation.
Liverpool, yeah, on Box Nation against Courtney Fry. Good fighter over the years, Courtney, good amateur. And then on the 21st, then I've got Lewis Reese, a young lad to watch out for in an 8-rounder against Peter McDonough, who's a regular fighter on Box Nation.
Excellent. Really looking forward to that. I think, before we go, we can hear from Pacquiao speaking to Larry Merchant.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Manny. You had a harder time taking off your wraps than you did in the fight, it seemed.
Yes, I'm the one who put my wrap, so just to make sure that my hands is not hurt. Yes.
What was the most important thing to you tonight? Was it just winning? Was it to show that you could box again? Was it to show that you had recovered from the knockout?
Recovering from the knockout and give a good show, you know, side by side, like the young Manny Pacquiao. That's what I'm trying to show tonight.
Well, we think of the young Manny Pacquiao as this fiery boxer-puncher. Tonight, you were a boxer first and a puncher. Didn't look like you needed a knockout for yourself.
You know, I'm very careful. I learned the last fight. You know, if the knockout will come, and then but I'm very careful, throwing a lot of punches and counter punch. That's what I did in this fight.
You hit him some good punches. Were those knockouts some of the opponents you have knocked out in the past?
Sorry?
You hit him some good punches, but he seemed to take them.
Man, he's one of the toughest opponent in my career. He took a lot of punches, the solid punch, the left hand, but he's still standing. That's why.
What does this mean to you personally and to you as such an important person in your home country?
It's really important to me to bring this honor to my country, especially people who are affected by typhoon, and I'm pretty sure that they're so happy. They're so happy right now because I won the fight. You know, God gave me this fight.
Would you say what you feel in your heart to your fans back at home and to the area that was devastated by that typhoon? What do you want to say to them?
Thank you so much. Especially thank to God for the strength that He gave it to me. He strengthens me tonight, and thank you to all your support, my fellow countrymen, to all the people and families who are affected by the typhoon. I will see you there. You know, I love you so much. In Jesus' name.
I have to ask you this, Manny. You beat up and outclassed a slower opponent. Can you do this to more elite opponents? Can you fight like this still?
I can, sir. I can fight. I did not consider Rios as a easy opponent. You know, his tough. He's very tough boxer, but a little bit slower and faster than him. But I can still fight a faster opponent and good boxer also.
All right. Your preference. Who should the next opponent be?
Actually, sir, right now I don't have an idea. It depends on my promoter, Bob Arum.
Will you fight in the U.S. again?
that's what I want. That's what I want. I miss to fight Las Vegas.
Thank you for a great performance, Manny.
He'll still be fighting at Las Vegas. It's up for grabs who that will be. It is something we'll be discussing next week on Buncey's show. You can see that, of course, on Monday, and indeed we'll be reflecting on that and looking ahead to the Copper Box next Thursday on my Boxing Matters show. Thanks very much to Steve Lillis, to Gary Lockett as well. We look forward to seeing you up in Liverpool. We'll be back again tomorrow with Buncey's show. Thanks for staying up to watch the Pacman. We'll speak to you soon.